Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. KC with you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I have not been doing too many riding videos because I had a little incident a couple weeks ago with the chainsaw. I did luckily retain all of my finger. It is just pretty chewed up from the knuckle across the fingernail, but it's healing up pretty good. Should be back riding here this weekend, as long as I take it easy. So today's video is going to be the last video on the KLR650 2022. It has 3,200 miles on it, and it's going to be time to say goodbye. I'm going to get it listed for sale and move on to something else. Nothing new and fancy, probably an XR650L or possibly a DR650. I built a DR650 prior to the time that I started the YouTube deal. So I may get another DR650 and go down that route and do a full build on one of those because they are sweet bikes. But right now, let's talk Kawasaki. The KLR650 right there, it has just over 3,200 miles on it. I have had no issues with it. The only issue was, of course, the fuel pump recall, which was done early on when I bought it back in 2022. And since then, we've had no issues with any type of fuel problems. I'll kind of go over, what should I say, what do I like and what I didn't like about it. I'm gonna say I really don't have a whole lot of dislikes. I mean, the thing is heavy, but you know that when you buy it. It's a single cylinder. Is it slightly underpowered really for its weight? Yes, but you should know that going into your purchase of this bike, because it is a big, heavy bike. That being said, I really don't have any complaints for it. As far as a cheap adventure bike, it was awesome for me. I mean, you have the large fairing, you got your large fairing there, you know, your windshield. That all does a great job of keeping the wind off of you when you're going down the road 60, 70 miles an hour. It does a great job. I mean, I love the bike for that. Super stable for me on the highway. Even with the pannier bags on the back, it was a great bike for me. And of course, I did upgrade the suspension on this early on with the Race Tech springs in the front and a Top Gun shock on the rear. And they made the bike awesome off-road and much better for hauling a lot of gear. Of course, I still have the Delcovic exhaust on it. No type of tuner or anything like that. Plug always looked good on it. Still running the D606s. They do a great job on it. Now, you'll notice I did some videos on this probably down the road as far as hand guards and like the mirrors and stuff, but being I'm selling it, I have the stock mirrors back on and stock hand guards back on because I will be using those on whatever other bike I get. Look at it out in the sunshine, and I am still running a tooth lower on the front sprocket on this. It does cut down your highway speed, but it is much better in the woods. I would have to even look back on one of my videos or do some research. That sprocket may be 2 teeth smaller. I'm not sure on that. But anyhow, it's definitely geared down as far as the front. Would I buy one again? Yes, I would buy one again. And I was seriously considering that. I just kind of like to sell my bikes before the mileage gets too high, because then you lose a lot of money on them if you're trying to put that money towards a new bike and not spend a lot out of pocket. So this one's 3,200 and change. So it's time for me to, you know, get it listed and get it down the road. Even though, like I said, I do like the bike. I have no issues with it. I mean, the one thing I mentioned is the weight, and I am riding by myself 90% of the time, and I did drop this over up in the mountain one time on a 95-degree day, and I was beat trying to lift this thing up and get it back upright. And I mean, I was lifting it up with my back, my legs, the correct way to lift it up, and it's still a beast. So for me, I am not an adventure bike guy by any means. I'm a dual sport guy. And this is the closest that I have ever gotten to adventure bike, and I'm just not ready to go, you know, big, heavy, monstrous adventure bike right now. I like the dual sports, the 650s, the DRZ 400. They're nice because you can load them up with luggage and do an adventure ride, but still they are lightweight to pick up, to maneuver, and deal with in sketchy situations. So that's kind of where I'm getting back to with either the XR650L. They're so hard to come by right now. Like, no dealers have them, like in my area, even like a tri-state area. So if I can't find one of those, I've never owned one of those. I've ridden them in the woods and on the road in the past, and I do love them, but I would do a build one on one of those in a second if I can come across one. But if not, it's going to be probably DR650, because they're much lighter than this, and you can put the panniers on, a windscreen, and they're much better off-road as far as weight and maneuverability than the KLR. And like I said, I'm just not an adventure bike guy, so I'm kind of sticking with my dual sport deal, and that's the road I'm going to be going down here. But I mean, as the decal shows right there, the KLR is badass. I enjoyed this bike. I mean, I would hop on it today and go take it for a ride, and I would love it. I seriously considered maybe just upgrading to a new one with no miles on it. There's still a very, very faint chance that could happen, but I don't think so. I mean, I hate to go back to a carburetor, because you got to deal with jetting and all that type of deal to get those bikes running good. Hey, Scout, there's Scouter. He's my buddy. He's my good boy. And but the thing is, Honda Trans out. Don't like the look of it. Too adventure bikery. Yamaha Tenere. Don't like the look of it. Too much adventure bike styling. Touareg. Too much adventure bike styling. The only bike I would even consider this being an adventure bike, to me, is one of the best looking adventure bikes, this Kawasaki, and the KTM 790, 890 are still very good looking, stylish bikes. But all the other BMW, Aprilia, all them, I do not like any of the styling of them. To me, they make me want to throw up in my mouth. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're going to get this thing listed, get it gone, and hopefully we can do a quick sale on this and get another bike in here and start building. But it will probably most likely be XR650, DR650. So as I said in the beginning, hit that like button, comment. I always get back to everybody, and subscribe, and we'll see you with the next build. Thank you.